Hey friends, we are reading Zane and the Hurricane, and we are on chapter 17. It's called Bad Trouble. This one time I was riding home on my bike, and a doe stepped out of the woods and just stood there, motionless. The sun was setting, and everything sort of blended together. The woods and the leaves and the little speckled deer, and probably me on my bike too. Maybe that's why the doe didn't bolt back into the woods, because she thought standing completely still would make her invisible. It's like that with Malvina when her fearsome dude mentions her mom. She freezes, no expression on her face, like she's hiding somewhere deep inside of herself. Right away, Mr. True comes over, a look of concern on his face. What's going on? You say something about this girl's mama? The dude in the cool shade and gold chain smiles, showing his strong white teeth. Look who it is, he says. True Blue Trudell, the trumpety man. You in luck, True. I happened to run into you and the girl. You scaring Malvina. That ain't right. The man moves a little closer. He's not that much taller than Mr. True, but he's twice as big around. All edge and muscle. I ain't scared nobody, he says quietly. All I do is mention how unfortunate it is that her mom can't be here to look out for her, which is tragic, on account of her situation. What you want, Mr. True says, looking worried. The man picks something from his teeth and flicks it away with his little finger. You awares who I am, old man? I got an idea. Then you already know me and Malvina's mom. We have some interest in common. She work for you? Mr. True says grudgingly. Nah, nothing formal. Person do me a favor, I do them a favor like that. When Malvina's mama went away, I wondered where her child might be at. Case I could be of use. But like she disappear. They say you want to find something, stop looking. And that's where it'll be. So Malvina hasn't said a word. She stares at the ground. Not at the man, not at nobody. What you want, Mr. True says again. What I want ain't about that. It about Dylan Toomey doing a favor for a friend. You flooded, right? House gone, nowhere to go? I'ma fix you up. Get you a dry crib, give you food, clothes, TV, anything you need. Let me watch over you and the girl and make sure all y'all come to no harm. Mr. True starts to say something but thinks better of it. He looks smaller, like the air has gone out of him somehow. After a moment, he says in a real meek voice, might be for the best, Mr. Toomey. We can sure use a roof over our heads. The man in the shades looks satisfied. Good. We take care of your situation soon as we done here. Then he saunters back to the grill, holding out his plate for another helping. Everybody make room for him, being extra careful not to step on his toes or offend him in any way. Mr. True crouches, smiling around at everybody, but talking to us in an urgent whisper. Malvina Vane, we in trouble. Children, bad trouble. We got to move quick. Get ready now. You ready? I'm going to make a fuss, and when I do, you run for that canoe. Fast as you can. Malvina says, what about you, True? I'll catch up. Don't look back. Just go. He stands real casual, nodding and smiling like everything is okay, heading for the grill as if he wants another helping too. And that's when he seems to trip over his bad foot and sprawls over, knocking over one of the grills. Everybody screams. Me and Malvina were gone before the smoke clears, headed full speed back to the school, racing through the long, dim hallway out into the bright sunlight, me praying that nobody has stole the canoe. They haven't, because there it is, battered and green and beautiful. Malvina leaps in the front and Bandy right behind her. I give the canoe a shove and manage to climb aboard without tipping us over. Then Mr. True explodes out the door, running and limping at the same time. He keeps a hold of his battered top hat, yelling, go, go, as he drags himself into the rear of that canoe. Maybe 50 yards clear of the school, paddling hard when Dylan Toomey saunters out, the sun glinting off his gold chains, pretending to dip a toe in the water, then recoil. And he grins like this is all a big joke, like he can't be bothered to chase us. Not if it means getting wet. Then he gives us a little wave and shouts, see y'all next time. That's a promise. Chapter 18. It's called Come Hell or High Water. After paddling like mad for a mile or so, Mr. True takes a pause, sliding the canoe out of sight between a couple of half-sunk cars and a building that was turned sideways by the flood. The branches reach out from the water, from drowned trees, and some of the leaves are still green, as if a crazy junkyard jungle has sprouted from down below. We haven't said barely a word, none of us, since we made our getaway, but you can tell Mr. Prue is trying to decide about something. It feels like we're all stuck between 1 second and the next and can't take a breath till the clock tick is over. Finally, he goes, "Darling, time we told this young man the truth about what he got himself into." Malvina avoids looking at me. Instead, she fusses over Bandy, scratching his ears. The little dog whines like he's trying to understand why the humans are acting so stiff and weird. And finally I go, "It's okay. Really, it's none of my business." "You part of it now, like it or not," Mr. True insists. "Malvina?" She folds her skinny arms across her chest. "My mom got arrested and sent to rehab," she announces in a flat voice, staring out at nothing. "She's an addict." "She gonna beat it this time," Mr. True says softly. "That's what you always say." "Have faith in your heart, darling. Your mama love you more than anything." Malvina shrugs like she's heard this all before and it can't touch her anymore. "Rehab doing its work. Your mama's getting well. You'll see." Malvina only looks away. "That man back at the school, Dylan Toomey," Mr. True says, "he's a local drug boss. Like he says, he's done Malvina's mom's a few favors. Giving her drugs is a favor. And when she got arrested in possession, they sent her to rehab instead of jail. Might be he's worried she say something to the police about his business." "My mama ain't no snitch," Malvina says defiantly. "She do the world a favor, lock up a gangster like him. And you know what, darling?" He glances at me. "So, Zane, you understand why we leave? We had to make our run?" I shake my head. "Not exactly. I mean, he's scary looking dude and all that, but it seems like he was trying to help us." Mr. True nods. "Oh, I can see how it might appear that way to you. But he intend to help himself, not us. By giving us food and shelter?" He shakes his head. "No, no. No gift. Man don't give nothing away. There's always a price. Dylan Toomey, he worried. He worried. If Malvina's mom have to choose between going to prison and coming home to her child, she's going to choose her child. She loves you, darling." The heat and the stench of the floodwaters make our eyes sting, so I can't be sure if Malvina is crying or just blinking away the sweat. True sighs and says, "If Toomey get a hold of Malvina and keep her under his evil eye, then her mama don't dare say nothing to nobody about his criminal ways. See, he owns a bunch of 14-year-old boys dealing his dope on the corners. Malvina's mama know the name of every boy. What do you think happened to Dylan Toomey when the police hear that? You understand now?" "Yeah," I say, "I do, sort of. I promised her mama I'd keep her safe come hell or high water." "Ha! The high water's already come. But I'm trying to keep us as safe as I can. Malvina?" No answer. The set from her mouth is obvious that she's done talking. She sits as still as she can be, like a carved mermaid in the bow of a boat. A skinny black mermaid with electric hair and salty tears dripping from her chin. Mr. True paddles us out into the harsh sunlight of the afternoon, resuming the quest for dry land and a safe place to stay. "Zane Dupree, guess you figured out by now you didn't get rescued by no Red Cross." That was chapter 18.